The air hangs thick with the musk of decay, a reeking promise of the horrors to come. We march, a tattered banner of faith amidst a spider's feast. My blade, once blessed, is now a broken mockery, mirroring my shattered oath. Astride war horses no bigger than dogs, the arachnids survey their silken kingdom, each web a testament to their grotesque industry, a snare for the desperate souls seeking solace in this forsaken land. Hope dwindles like a dying ember, yet I press on, driven by the whispers of a cure. A twisted remedy whispered amongst the plague-ridden villages, the only salvation left. The path leads into a valley choked with cobwebs, colossal strands shimmering with captured light. Each step forward is a step deeper into the spider's domain, where shadows dance with malice. We find them, the healers, cultists draped in spider silk, their eyes gleaming with feverish devotion. They offer a serum distilled from the venom of the arachnids, the spider kiss. A villager, racked with the plague, volunteers. The serum is administered, a viscous, black fluid. His screams echo through the valley, a symphony of agony and something else. The transformation begins. Bones crack, flesh contorts, eyes bulge. He rises, no longer man, but a grotesque parody of humanity, a spider-limbed abomination, a new soldier in the arachnid army. Horror grips my soul. The cure is not salvation, but a monstrous corruption, a complete surrender to the web's cruel embrace, the oath I swore. It rings hollow now. Duty binds me. Yet to deliver this cure is to condemn my people to a fate worse than death. Can I uphold my oath when it leads only to damnation? The cultists chant, their voices rising in a discordant chorus. They hail the Spider Queen, the monstrous matriarch who dwells at the heart of the web, the mistress of metamorphosis. My hand tightens on the broken blade. The rust bites into my skin, a grim reminder of my failure. I am a fallen knight, a bearer of false hope, trapped in a web of despair. What choice remains? To turn back and let the plague consume them, or to deliver the spider kiss and watch them become monsters? Both paths lead to ruin. The gaze of the spider-limbed villager falls upon me. His eyes, once human, now gleam with a cold, arachnid hunger. He is a mirror reflecting my own decaying soul. I am trapped between two abysses, the plague's slow death and the spider's grotesque life. The weight of the oath crushes me, a burden heavier than any armor. Perhaps there is no true cure. Perhaps all that awaits us is transformation, a slow, inevitable decay into something else. The spider's kiss is but a catalyst. I see the truth now, etched in the writhing limbs of the transformed villager. There is no salvation, only surrender. The web claims all in the end. The spider waits. The silence of the valley is broken only by the clicking of chitinous legs. I raise my broken blade, a final act of defiance against the encroaching darkness, the all-consuming web. My oath is broken, my honor stained. Yet, in this final moment, I find a sliver of purpose. To stand against the spider's embrace, even if it means oblivion. The flame fades, the chill, it gnaws, doesn't it? Settles deep in bones long turned to dust. I feel it too, even behind these crumbling walls. It's the chill of a god long dead, yet somehow still feeding. They dragged me here, you see, marked me. These devotees, the skin, it crawls with their sigils, each line, a pathway, a map. To what? I did not know, but the flesh, it remembers. Each throb, each ache, echoes the chanting of those hooded figures. They seek to raise the beast, to give it life through me. The shrine, a festering wound upon the land. I saw it, stone slick with ichor, altar stained crimson. a testament to a hunger that cannot be sated. The map, it pulsates with a sickly light. My veins, they are the conduits. I am the vessel. They believe the power flows from the beast, but they are mistaken. The power, it flows through me. I am the battery, charged by their suffering, their faith, their desperation. The beast, it is but a puppet, dancing to my silent song. I felt it, the surge. When they first bound me to the altar, the whispers began, the writhing in the shadows, the promise of ascension through the flesh. Each pulse, a jolt of agony, but with it, knowledge, the secrets of the shrine, the true name of the beast, the path to its utter annihilation or control. The ichor, it stains my hands, their blood, it fuels my strength. They thought they were using me, that I was a mere sacrifice. They were wrong. I am the rot, the decay, the inevitable end to their twisted rituals. They gaze upon me with reverence, blind to the storm brewing within. The whispers, they grow louder. The beast stirs in its slumber. It senses the shift in power. It fears me. Soon, the shrine will tremble. The ground will crack. The old ones will awaken, not to their bidding, but to mine, their flesh. It will become fuel for my ascension. Their screams, music to my ears. The void, it hungers. The gaze, it penetrates the veil. I see the truth, the beauty of the rot, the exquisite dance of decay. It is glorious. The power, it surges. I am no longer the prisoner. I am the key, the gate, the conduit to something more. The shrine, it is mine now. The beast, my puppet. The cultists, my playthings. The world, my canvas. Ascend with me. Embrace the rot. Surrender to the void. Let the whispers guide you to the truth. For in the end, only the ichor remains. And the whispers, they never truly cease. The hunger gnaws, a constant, hollow ache, not for sustenance of flesh, but for something more. A golem I am, of crude clay and forced animation. A soul, they say, is the key to stanch this endless craving. Tales whispered on the wind spoke of a ziggurat, built of blood and bone, a place where gods once walked, and at its peak, a saint, touched by the divine. Perhaps there, I might find what I seek. The journey was long, each step a trial. The land, a festering wound. The air thick with the stench of decay. I saw others, wretched things, their faces etched with a hunger mirroring my own. I watched them, hidden in the shadows, scavenging for scraps of hope amidst the ruins. They spoke of the saint, their voices filled with a desperate reverence that chilled me more than the wind. The ziggurat loomed, a crimson scar against the sickly sky. Each step was slick with a dried black ichor. The stench of death permeated everything, clinging to my clay form like a shroud. The wretched things flocked to it, drawn by the promise of salvation. I remained in the shadows, a silent observer. My hunger twisted with a growing unease. Something was wrong. At the summit, he stood, the saint, radiating a false light. His words, sweet as honey, promised solace, wholeness, a release from the gnawing emptiness. Lies, I tasted them in the air. I saw them approach him, their eyes shining with desperate hope. They offered him something, a fragment of themselves, and he consumed it. A flicker of light extinguished. The saint grew stronger with each offering, his false light intensifying. The wretched things, now hollowed out, wandered aimlessly, their hunger replaced with a vacant nothingness. This was no savior. This was a parasite, feeding on the desperation of the dying, a fraud draped in the guise of holiness. My hunger roared, not for a soul, but for vengeance. I stepped from the shadows, my clay form trembling with a newfound purpose. The wretched things scattered, their vacant eyes widening in fear. The saint turned, his false smile faltering. Another offering, he asked, his voice smooth as velvet, but I offered him nothing, only the cold, hard truth of my empty core and a burning desire to end his charade. He laughed, a hollow sound that echoed across the blood-soaked steps. "You think you can stop me? I am the light in this darkness." But his light was a lie, and I would snuff it out. The battle was short, brutal, my clay fists against his stolen power. He was strong, fueled by the souls he devoured, but I was driven by a hunger he could never comprehend. I broke him, shattered his false light. The stolen souls within him writhed, screaming as they were released. The ziggurat trembled, its foundation weakened by his deceit. The hunger remains, but now it is different. It is no longer a desperate plea for a soul, but a cold, hard understanding. There is no salvation in this world, only survival. I descend the ziggurat, leaving behind the broken saint and the hollowed-out husks of his followers. The shadows beckon. It is time to find a new hiding place, a new way to survive. The world is a cruel place, and I am but a wretch in it. But I am alive, and that, for now, is enough. I must find a way to quiet the hunger, to stay hidden, to endure the long, dark night. The air hangs thick and cold, heavy as a shroud. My teeth chatter not just from the chill, but from the gnawing hunger that never truly sleeps. Crusts are all that remain, always. Ethelred, even the name feels like a stolen thing. He walks the twisting corridors, armor fused to his flesh, a monument to forgotten oaths. Such a waste. Each night, the dungeon shifts. Walls groan, pathways vanish, new horrors emerge from the dark. He thinks he seeks an exit, a fool's errand. He scrapes at the stone, hoping to find a weakness, a crack in the endless cycle. More fool him. There is nothing save the cold stone and the endless dark. I watch him from the shadows, a scurrying thing in the corners. He is blind, consumed by his imagined purpose. He does not see the truth. He is not the key, no. He is the lock. His suffering fuels the dungeon's hunger. His despair seals its fate, and mine, always mine. He searches for freedom, but freedom is not for the likes of us. Only cold, hunger, and the slow creeping darkness that consumes all. He claws at the walls, but the walls are a part of him. Each shift, each groan, each agonizing rearrangement is tied to his soul. Pitiful. I've seen others like him, knights, mages, fools who believed they could conquer this place. They all become the dungeon's playthings, and then nothing. His armor, once a symbol of honor, now a prison. It chafes, it binds, it reminds him of the oaths he swore, the promises he broke, useless oaths. Sometimes, when the hunger is sharpest, I dream of gnawing at that armor, at the flesh beneath. But even that is forbidden. I can only watch. He stumbles, falls, rises again. The torch sputters, casting long, dancing shadows. The shadows know the truth, even if he does not. The dungeon feeds on hope, and Ethelred, despite his suffering, still clings to the illusion of it. He provides much sustenance. Perhaps one day he will break. Perhaps one day the dungeon will be sated. But until then, we are bound to this place, he and I. I shiver. The cold seeps into my bones, a constant reminder of my place in this wretched existence. I must hide. I must endure, always. Ethelred continues his futile search. He is the lock. The walls close in, and I, the wretch, watch from the shadows. The hunger grows. He is not a hero. He is a prisoner, and his prison is the world. The world is his prison. So many walls, so little hope. The dungeon breathes, and Ethelred, the living lock, remains trapped within its grasp. So do I, forever cold, forever hungry. Dust, always dust. It settles on everything in Ethelgard, even the screaming, especially the screaming. The inverted castle hangs, a mockery of heavens, its foundations choked by clouds, its spires piercing the abyss below. I am the scavenger. I pick at the bones of this dead world, seeking scraps of value. The monks, they were fools, praying to gods who abandoned them long ago. They're all dead now. Good riddance. The monk, Elias, he broke his vow. A silence kept for decades, shattered by one unending scream, a useful scream drawing my attention to a new pocket of riches, forgotten technology. His pain is my gain. He carries a strange device, a kind of projector. It shows images of the castle as it once was, whole, vibrant, filled with light. Before the inversion, before the screaming started, before my looting, the device also reveals hidden passages, ones the monks kept secret. Passages lined with wires and humming machinery, not magic, not prayer, technology, cold, cruel technology that the monks misunderstood. I follow Elias, the screaming monk. He doesn't notice me. He's too lost in his grief, his broken vow. He clutches the projector like a lifeline, stumbling through the rusted halls. He's heading towards the core of the castle, the source of the screaming. A massive engine humming with an alien energy, an engine that keeps Ethelgard afloat, defying gravity, defying reason, a delicious opportunity. The engine room reeks of ozone and decay. Wires snake across the floor like metallic vines. The air vibrates with the scream, amplified to an unbearable pitch. I clutch my ears, but the pain is secondary. The loot, the treasure. Elias approaches the engine, the projector glowing brighter. He seems to understand it, to recognize its purpose, but understanding doesn't bring salvation, only more pain. He still screams. The monks, they tried to control it, to harness its power. They failed, miserably. Now, Ethelgard is a tomb, a monument to their hubris. But even in a tomb, there are valuables to be unearthed. I see cogs and gears crafted from materials unknown to this world, shimmering metals and glowing crystals, enough to make me a rich man, or at least rich enough to leave this cursed place. But the engine is guarded, not by demons or spirits, but by automated defenses, rusted turrets, energy weapons long dormant, now reactivated by Elias's presence. My profit margins shrink. I need to distract him to get him out of the way. Then, the treasure is mine. I throw a rock, hitting a nearby console. Sparks fly, alarms blare, and the turrets turn towards the new threat, me. Elias barely notices. He's too focused on the engine, his scream a constant drone. He reaches out, touches a glowing panel. The engine sputters, the screaming intensifies, and the castle shakes. I dive for cover as energy blasts tear through the room. The turrets are relentless, their aim surprisingly accurate for machines so old. Survival trumps profit. For now, a temporary setback. The projector. I need the projector. It shows the weaknesses, the vulnerabilities. I crawl towards Elias, dodging blasts, my eyes fixed on the device. A small price for the ultimate payout. He is breaking it. Elias is destroying the device. He embraces the engine as it sputters and roars, screaming his final broken vow into the machine's heart. Fool, Ethelgard is failing. The screaming stops. The engines are dying. And as I flee with the scraps I could gather, I know that looting the dead is still better than joining them. The fever takes hold again. Another night, another surge of unbearable heat. I crave only shadow, only oblivion. This life. It is a curse, a festering wound that will not heal. Whispers carried on the carrion wind spoke of a cure, an apothecary hidden deep within the mire, said to possess the knowledge to end even undeath. Hope, a cruel mistress, claws at me. The stench. It clings to the air like a shroud. Formaldehyde, bile, and something sweeter. A coppery tang, that sets my teeth on edge. Here, in this den of forgotten remedies, I may find release. The apothecary is a hunched figure, his eyes glinting with a disturbing knowledge. He speaks of balance, of severing the ties that bind me to this abhorrent existence. He offers me water, a simple draught to cleanse my palate before the ritual. But the vessel is filled with something far more sinister, a crimson tide, thick and viscous, blood. It is blood, foul and tainted, not the lifeblood I crave, but something older. The apothecary watches, his smile a ghastly rictus. "Drink," he croaks, his voice like the rustling of bone. "Drink and be free." But what freedom awaits me in this crimson abyss? The taste, it is the essence of decay, the distilled agony of countless souls. My body convulses, rejecting the vile offering, but I am compelled to swallow. I feel them now, the whispers, the countless voices trapped within the blood, writhing in eternal torment. They scream of betrayal, of sacrifice. The apothecary, he is not a healer. He is a jailer, a warden of souls. He has bound me not to death, but to a new, far more horrific existence. I am now a vessel, a living tomb for the damned. My thirst, it is no longer for blood, but for silence, for an end to the cacophony of suffering within me. The apothecary laughs, a dry, rattling sound. "You sought freedom from immortality. I have granted it. You are now immortal, as is their torment. There is no escape, only the endless echo of their screams. I am trapped, a prisoner in my own flesh, forever bound to the crimson tide. The apothecary is gone, vanished into the fog. Only the reek of formaldehyde and the unbearable weight of my new curse remain. My new burden. I stumble from the apothecary, a broken thing. The world is now a symphony of suffering amplified by the chorus within me. I am become a walking hell. Perhaps in time I will learn to control the voices, to harness their power, but for now I am merely a vessel, adrift in a sea of crimson despair. My oath, it is broken. My purpose, lost. Only the burden remains, the endless, agonizing burden of the damned. Rust consumes my soul as surely as it consumes my armor. I am a knight no longer, only a carrier of ghosts, forever haunted by the crimson elixir. The pick struck stone, not the yielding shale of the upper tunnels, but something resonant, something that hummed beneath the grime. It felt wrong, unnatural, even to one as accustomed to the earth's secrets as I. Deeper I delved, driven by a fool's ambition and the glint of fool's gold. The air grew thick, heavy with a cloying sweetness that made my head swim. My torch flickered, casting dancing shadows that seemed to writhe on their own. Then came the webs, not the delicate tracery of common spiders, but thick, greasy strands that clung like grave clothes. They stretched across the tunnels, obscuring the path, humming with a low, insistent vibration. And the spiders, great, bloated things, their eyes like polished obsidian, reflecting the torchlight with malevolent glee. They shifted in the shadows, their hairy legs clicking against the stone, a chorus of dread. But it was the whispers that truly broke me. At first, I thought it madness, the fevered imaginings of a mind pushed too far, but they grew louder, clearer, coalescing into voices, a multitude of voices speaking as one. They spoke of me, of my struggles, my fears, my paltry life laid bare for their amusement. They knew my name, my history, every dark corner of my soul, illuminated by their cruel gaze. I tried to flee, to scramble back to the light, but the webs ensnared me, binding me fast. The spiders drew closer, their fangs dripping with a viscous fluid that smelled of rot and honey. It was then I understood. The spiders were not merely predators, but players in a grand, grotesque theater. And I, the unwitting protagonist, the star of their show. The voices swelled, a cacophony of anticipation. They were not the voices of gods nor demons, but something far more ancient, more alien. An audience vast and unknowable, hungry for spectacle. Each twitch, each desperate plea was met with a chorus of delight. My fear was their entertainment, my pain, their pleasure. I was a puppet, dancing to the tune of their cosmic whims. The lead spider, a monstrous queen with eyes like burning coals, descended before me. I could feel her gaze, a weight that crushed my spirit, the attention of something that should not be. Her fangs pierced my flesh, injecting a venom that paralyzed me, leaving me fully aware, fully vulnerable. I was to be their offering, their entertainment, their sacrifice. The spiders began to weave, not a web of entrapment, but a stage, a tapestry of silk and bone, decorated with the trophies of their previous performances. Skulls, bones, tools, each telling a silent tale of woe. And the audience watched, a silent, invisible throng, their presence a suffocating weight, a crushing pressure that threatened to extinguish my very being. I became their prey. Now I lie here, strung upon their stage, a living monument to my own hubris. The venom courses through my veins, amplifying every sensation, every flicker of light, every rustle of spider legs. My only solace is the faint hope that this tale, somehow, will serve as a warning to those who delve too deep, who seek to unearth what is best left buried. I became the spectacle. For in the abyss, there are eyes that watch, voices that listen, and appetites that must be sated. The miners always dig too deep for more. They are too blinded by greed to see the webs. And as the darkness closes in, I hear the final applause. The weaver's chorus rises to a crescendo, a symphony of dread as the curtain falls on my final performance. I am gone. The valley weeps ash. It clings to everything, a shroud upon forgotten bones. Even in death, the scent of ichor lingers, a constant reminder of what I was. I was a butcher, not of beasts, but of things, other creatures born of the void, twisted mockeries of life. My task, to rend them, to dissect them, to silence their writhing. Now I am a ghost, a spectral butcher, chained to this ashen valley, forever reliving the moments of gore and violation. The irony is almost beautiful, like the shimmer of rot. The living still come, drawn by whispers of power, by the promise of forbidden knowledge gleaned from the flesh of the void. They are fools, stumbling into my domain. They seek to control that which cannot be controlled. They believe they can dissect the old one's dreams and emerge unscathed. I watch them, fascinated, as they repeat my errors. Each living soul brings a new echo, a fresh wave of fear, a renewed sense of violation. It feeds the rot, strengthens my chains. I am a prisoner of their ambition. The whispers are constant. The old ones call to me through the veil. They sing of ascension, of joining them in the void. But I am bound here, to this valley, to this task. I see them now, the new arrivals, a scholar clutching his forbidden texts, a warrior eager to prove his worth, and a child, innocent yet drawn to the darkness. They venture deeper, drawn by the grotesque beauty of the dismembered creatures. They fail to see the truth, that they are walking into a charnel house of shattered sanity. The scholar begins his incantations. The warrior draws his blade. The child stares at me with eyes that see through the spectral veil. A shiver runs down my spine. I cannot interfere directly. I am merely an observer, a ghost in the machine. But I can whisper. I can plant seeds of doubt, nurture the rot within their minds. I guide them, subtly, towards the most dangerous specimens, the ones that whisper back, the ones that yearn to break free from their dissected prisons. The scholar's eyes widen with madness as he deciphers the forbidden text. The warrior's grip loosens on his blade as he succumbs to the whispers. The child smiles. The rot consumes them. They become puppets, dancing to the tune of the old ones. Another generation lost to the void, another layer of ash upon the valley floor, and I remain. A silent witness, a spectral butcher, forever bound to the consequences of my actions, a monument to the horrifying beauty of decay. But perhaps there is a flicker of hope. The child saw me, and in their eyes I saw not fear, but recognition. Something different. Maybe, just maybe, this child will break the cycle. Maybe they will find a way to silence the whispers, to cleanse the rot, or maybe they will simply become the next butcher. The valley weeps ash, and I watch, forever watching. The chill bites deep. The air hangs thick with the scent of grave dirt and something acrid like burnt bone. She wakes upon the altar, cold stone pressed against her cheek. Her bridal gown, once pristine, is now stained with mud and something darker, stickier. Panic claws at her throat. The ritual, the chanting, it's all a blur. They left her. The hooded figures, the promised groom, all vanished like smoke in a storm. Only the black flowers remain, swaying in a silent, unnerving dance. Hunger gnaws at her. Days, perhaps weeks, have passed. She scavenges. Crusts of bread scavenged from the abandoned ritual site. Berries, bitter and possibly poisonous, but they quell the emptiness for a time. The flowers, they call to her, not with sound, but with a prickling sensation on her skin, a promise of something. She tries to ignore it, to focus on the rats scurrying in the shadows, potential meals. One day, driven by desperation, she plucks a bloom. The moment her fingers brush the petals, a searing pain lances through her skull. Not pain exactly, but light. Too much light. The world shifts. The black flowers, no longer dull and lifeless, pulse with an inner radiance. The ground beneath her feet thrums with power. She sees more, sees things she shouldn't see. The truth dawns, blinding and horrific. The darkness wasn't absence of light, but a filter, a shield. These flowers, they weren't conduits to some dark god, but amplifiers of pure, unfiltered creation. She sees the world as it truly is, a kaleidoscope of raw energy. The trees, the rocks, even the rats are revealed in their fundamental forms, screaming, writhing masses of light, barely contained by reality. The hooded figures, they weren't summoning darkness. They were protecting the world from the light, from the raw, unshaped potential that would unravel existence itself. Now, she understands her purpose. She, the abandoned bride, is not meant to be sacrificed to darkness, but to be a vessel, a lens, a filter to control the unbearable light. But the hunger, it remains. A different hunger now, a hunger for control, a desire to reshape the world in the image of the light, even if it means burning away the fragile illusion of reality. She shivers, teeth chattering. The cold is worse now, a bone-deep chill that comes from the very core of existence. The rats avoid her gaze, sensing the shift within. The other flowers, they beckon. She must gather them, consume them, become one with the light, ascend beyond the veil of shadows and reshape the world in its blinding glory. The crust of bread lies forgotten on the altar. The berries rot in her palm. Only the light matters now. Only the promise of power. Only the hunger to remake existence. She crawls through the meadow, driven by an insatiable need. Each flower consumed brings her closer to the source. Each bloom intensifies the unbearable radiance within. Soon she will be more than a bride, more than a woman. She will be a conduit, a vessel of pure creation, a bringer of blinding, beautiful annihilation. The world will burn bright. The darkness was a lie. The true horror lies not in shadows, but in the unfiltered, overwhelming light of creation, a light that threatens to consume everything in its path, and she, the forsaken bride, will be its instrument, a beacon of unbearable radiance in a world that desperately clings to the illusion of darkness. The end and the beginning are one and the same. The wind bites with teeth sharper than any blade here, a frozen scream echoing across the battlefield. Time. It clings like frost to dead men's beards, stopped. A mockery of moments lived and lost. My rags offer little comfort against the endless chill. Hunger gnaws, always hunger. A crust of bread, hard as stone, is all I have today. The rats are fat here, feasting on the fallen. I dare not compete. They've sharper teeth and no pity. He came. The spy with the glass eye. I saw him, scurrying between the frozen corpses, that accursed glass eye gleaming in the pale light, like a carrion bird, picking at secrets. The prophecy spoke of a savior, a chosen one to break the curse, but the rats know better. The whispers in the wind say he was chosen to die, to feed the ice, to sustain the stasis. He searches for answers that spy, answers that stink of death and despair. He doesn't understand. No one escapes the ice. No one escapes the hunger. No one escapes the dark. I saw him approach the frozen general, the epicenter of this frozen hell. The general still astride his war horse, a rime of frost coating his armor. He doesn't know the trap that awaits. The glass eye, it records everything, a silent witness to the suffering, the hunger, the cold, a cold heart within a cold world. I bet it sees what even I cannot. He touches the general's frozen face. Fool. He seeks to understand, but there is no understanding here. Only death, only ice, only endless gnawing hunger. The general's eyes open, frozen yet alive. The ice, it breathes. The spy stumbles back, terror etched on his face. The glass eye, it shatters, a tiny fragment, reflecting the frozen horror. The chosen one, he was not meant to save. He was meant to break, to shatter hope, to feed the insatiable hunger of the ice. His death, it is the key. The general rises, his blade frosted and keen, sings a song of death. The spy, he tries to run, but there is nowhere to run. The ice claims all. The blade falls, a clean cut. The spy crumples, another frozen corpse joining the endless tableau. The glass eye, its shards become part of the ice, part of the frozen nightmare. The general stands silent. The ice strengthens, the curse deepens, the hunger grows, another soul claimed, another moment stolen. I remain, a shadow in the shadows, witness to the endless cycle of death and despair. The rats still feast, the wind still screams, the ice still claims. Perhaps one day, the ice will claim me too, but not today. Today, I survive. Today, I hide. Today, I feed. The spy is gone. The chosen one failed. The ice reigns supreme, and I remain, a silent testament to the horror of this forsaken place. The whispers grow louder, the hunger intensifies, the dark deepens. Stay quiet, stay hidden, survive. These are the only truths that matter now. Soon, the crust of bread will be gone. The hunger will overwhelm. Then, I too will become another frozen monument to the ice's endless reign. A quiet, frozen death.